What's going on, noobs? I am Rory, the Perpetual Noob, and welcome back to another exciting Hollow Knight boss discussion. This is the 19th video in a series where I'll be discussing each boss of Hollow Knight, where we can find them, how we can defeat them, and how does this boss fit into the world of Hollow Knight. Today we'll be talking about Traitor Lord. We find Traitor Lord to the top left of Queen's Gardens. We will need the Shade Cloak to reach this boss. The Shade Cloak is found at the bottom right of the abyss, and in addition to granting us the ability to dash through enemies and their attacks, in this case, it also grants us the ability to dash through this Shade Gate. After a few hops on some folding platforms, we enter a large room. There are gates in the floor that close and lock the moment we enter the room. Before we get to fight Traitor Lord, we have to fight through 4 of his Mantis Traitor minions. It starts with just one Mantis Traitor. Once we've defeated the first, a second traitor will arrive. If we have spoken with her at least once, our good friend Cloth now joins us and smashes the second traitor to bits. After the second traitor is beaten, 2 more Mantis Traitors arrive and try to take us down. And finally, once those 2 are defeated, we have a moment to breathe, also known as heal, as the Traitor Lord takes his sweet time dropping from the ceiling, telegraphed by a lot of dust. Traitor Lord drops into the room, shouts, and the fight begins. Traitor Lord will dash towards us and swipe with his claws. He rushes forward and covers about a third of the arena with this attack. Traitor Lord telegraphs this attack when he draws back his trailing claw. Then he extends his face forward ever so slightly. Then Traitor Lord twists his body, bringing that trailing claw up higher. When we see a glint of light behind Traitor Lord, that's when the dash starts. Traitor Lord launches forward, bringing that trailing claw down rapidly in a large swiping motion. Let's call this attack the dash attack. Traitor Lord will leap into the air and then dive towards us. This attack occurs in 2 parts. First, the leap straight up, and second, the dive. Both parts are dangerous. Dive is always at the same angle and will cover about 25% of the arena. Traitor Lord telegraphs this attack when he lifts his head and stands up straight. Then he bends his legs and jumps straight up into the air with a corkscrew motion, spinning his claws around him. When Traitor Lord reaches the top of the arena, he twists his body to face down at about a 45-degree angle and swipes forward with his claw with a glint behind him. The dive looks very similar to the dash attack, but in the air. Let's call this attack the dive attack. Traitor Lord took a couple of attempts. The trickiest part about this fight for me was the fact that Traitor Lord is so big and his attacks take up a fair amount of space in the arena. I felt like I couldn't escape. In my successful fight, I stayed airborne a whole lot more often than I tend to for boss fights. I found it was best for me to try to stay above Traitor Lord and bounce on him with downward slashes. I think Cloth might have landed a hit or 2 beyond her final strike, but she really wasn't all that influential in the fight. My charms for this fight were Quick Slash, Wayward Compass, Grubberfly's Elegy, and Quick Focus. I love Quick Slash. It's such a good nail-based charm, and it really maximized my pogo stick tactic, allowing me to beat the snot out of Traitor Lord while I cheerily bounced up and down. Even though I knew where Traitor Lord was, I had a long way to go after my first death because the last bench I rested at was back in the Forgotten Crossroads. I needed Wayward Compass to help me navigate all the way back to Traitor Lord, and for whatever reason, I didn't think to swap it out when I rested at the bench in Queen's Gardens. So here's a new one, Grubberfly's Elegy. This was a fairly new charm for me, and I loved its effect. Grubberfly's Elegy gives our nail a projectile slash when we have full health. The projectile does only half our nail's damage, but I had the pure nail at this point, so the projectile still did a lot of damage. This charm also helped to give me some extra range because again, Traitor Lord is very big and his arena is very small in comparison. Grubberfly's Elegy really helped me keep away from this large boss, giving me more time to react to his attacks while still hitting him in the face. I tend to keep Quick Focus equipped more for safety, And in this fight, due to my successful pogo stick tactic, I found I only needed quick focus to keep my health topped off. In those few moments, quick focus helped a lot. Even when I put as much distance between me and Traitor Lord, he could still close that distance fast enough that I'd only have time to heal 1 hit point. I think Desolate Dive is a good spell for this fight. Vengeful Spirit with the Hallownest charm would be a solid option too, because Traitor Lord closes the distance on us so fast that he'd take the full effect of that spell. Though in this case, Traitor Lord might still damage us. Traitor Lord isn't often above us, so Howling Wraiths would be tricky to use, but not completely useless. Don't forget the Shaman Stone charm to increase your spell damage, and Spell Twister charm to decrease the soul cost of your spells. Another, less crazy way to enhance our nail range is with charms like Long Nail and Mark of Pride. Having the extra range really helps keep us safe from Traitor Lord's impressive reach. Healing is tricky in this fight. Cloth can take Traitor Lord's attention long enough for us to heal 1 hit point without any charms, or probably up to 2 hit points with quick focus. But if we don't have Cloth to distract Traitor Lord, what's a noob to do? Quick focus? Absolutely. Shape of Un would allow us to run away from Traitor Lord while healing. Baldur's Shell would also be a good charm for healing during this fight. Using the Shade Cloak to dodge all of Traitor Lord's attacks would be a fantastic tactic too, rather than bouncing on Traitor Lord. If you choose to use the Shade Cloak to dodge Traitor Lord, the charm Sharp Shadow will do your nail damage every time you use the Shade Cloak dash. Combine that with the Dash Master charm, and now you're dealing 1.5 times your nail damage every time you Shade Cloak dash through Traitor Lord. My nail was the strongest it could be, the Pure Nail. I definitely recommend upgrading your nail at the Nailsmith, who resides at the bottom left of the City of Tears. I also recommend finding more charms and charm notches, collecting Soul Vessel fragments to gain more Soul Vessels, which equates to more Soul stored, which means more healing and spell uses, and collecting Mask Shards to gain more hit points. Please see the Soul Master video for a more in-depth general discussion about playstyles and charm combinations. After Traitor Lord is defeated, we can now reach the White Lady, wife, lover, person of interest to the Pale King. The White Lady grants us half of the King's soul, which is the precursor to the Void Heart, which we need for us to fully realize our task of stopping the infection that plagues Hallownest. The strange thing about all of this is that prior to entering the White Lady's shelter, we'll find a lot of Mantis Traitor bodies and the body of one white bug. If we are using the Defender's Crest charm when we speak with the White Lady, we can learn that the white bug outside is one of the 5 great knights of Hallownest, Drya. Tragically, the White Lady doesn't know that Drya is dead and asks us how our reunion with her was. There's a lot to detangle here with this whole scenario around Traitor Lord. From the Hunter's notes, it is clear that Traitor Lord is a former lord of the Mantis Tribe, and if we take a look at the Mantis Lord's arena, we can see a destroyed 4th throne. More from the Hunter's notes reveals that this particular Mantis Lord embraced the infection, becoming more powerful, and with this embrace, betrayed his sisters. Just from this information arises so many questions for me. Why did Traitor Lord embrace the infection? Was it simply for more power? Did Traitor Lord think he needed the infection's power for a more glorious purpose? And if so, what was that purpose? The Hunter's notes state that Traitor Lord betrayed his sisters. I think this speaks to the fact that Traitor Lord embraced the infection, which in essence violated the tenets of the Mantis Tribe. The Mantises see themselves as fierce and proud warriors. Using anything external to them to gain more power would be treasonous and dishonorable. But apparently, not so dishonorable to warrant a punishment of death. The fact that there are plenty of traitor mantises in Queen's Gardens and still plenty of mantises in the Mantis Tribe area, it looks like Traitor Lord and his followers were simply exiled, or allowed to leave of their own accord. The only violent thing to come of the Traitor Lord's betrayal is the destruction of his throne. And there's no indication that it was even the remaining Mantis Lords who did that. It could have been Traitor Lord destroying his own throne. I wonder if the Mantis Lords let Traitor Lord and his followers go, because the Mantis Lords understood that with the rest of Hallownest in ruins, killing Traitor Lord and everyone who followed him would probably result in the end of the Mantis Tribe as a whole. Such violence probably would have gotten everyone in the Mantis Tribe killed, and the Mantis Lords decided it was better to kick the traitors out and continue to survive rather than all die over their betrayal. I wonder if this is why Traitor Lord left the Mantis Tribe, rather than try to overthrow the other Mantis Lords and become the sole leader of the Mantis Tribe. Despite embracing the infection, Traitor Lord is never presented as losing his mind, so perhaps he also understood that trying to take over would just result in the extinction of the Mantis Tribe entirely. It's interesting to me that both sides were so focused on the preservation of their people that neither took steps to foster a violent revolution. And that gets me wondering, what if Traitor Lord is actually a tragic hero? What if Traitor Lord was tired of the Mantis Tribe's non-interference? He saw Hallownest falling to ruin because of the infection, and he had to do something, but the other lords stood fast against interfering. So he embraced the infection to grow stronger so that he could lead his followers into Hallownest to try to do whatever they could to stop it, to have a more direct impact on the rest of Hallownest. So then, why the obsession with the White Lady? Well, Traitor Lord may have had a strong enough will to maintain his sanity despite embracing the infection, but I'm sure there was an ever-growing voice in his head telling him all of the secrets of Hallownest and the Pale King and the White Lady's involvement in the kingdom. Now, were he and his followers trying to reach the White Lady to kill her? Take her for ransom and try to get the Pale King out of hiding? Or use her to create more vessels that the infection could use then as soldiers? Or maybe there was some completely different purpose to their obsession with her. But then, what makes the Mantis traitors stop trying to reach the White Lady? Dryia, the White Lady's protector, is dead. Why did the Mantis traitors stop attacking? Is it our presence? Does the infection know of us and is now dedicating its efforts to stopping us instead of enacting revenge against those that have trapped it? I think I just blew my mind. Of course, if it is our presence, that'd mean that Dryia died only recently, but it seems like she probably died a long time ago. Everything about Hallownest feels ancient. Very little of what we find feels like it's only been this way for as long as we've returned. So, what other reason could there be for the Mantis traitors to stop attacking the White Lady long ago? And with that, let's talk about our dear friend Cloth. If we spoke with Cloth at least one other time in our Hollow Knight journey, she will show up and help us defeat Traitor Lord. And, no matter what we do, Traitor Lord will mortally wound her. Oddly enough, this is Cloth's happy ending. Cloth came to Hallownest to prove herself a warrior, but up until the Traitor Lord fight, she was actually a big coward, popping up from underground only after we would come through and defeat all of the enemies in particular locations. She fulfills her dream of becoming a brave warrior during the Traitor Lord fight because she actually gets involved and helps us. It is heartbreaking that she dies to fulfill her dream. We can speak with Cloth's ghost after the fight and learn that she feels pretty great about the fight, and she is happy. Cloth continues on to say that she will soon find Nola, her friend, lover, or at least someone close to her who died. This whole time, Cloth has been looking for a hero's death so that she will be proud when she is reunited with Nola. And, thanks to the example of bravery that we set, we were able to help Cloth find that. That's it for our boss discussion about Traitor Lord. Thank you for joining me today, noobs. Stay tuned for future Hollow Knight boss videos. If you've got any thoughts about Traitor Lord, either about the fight or about them as a part of the world of Hollow Knight, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. I am the Perpetual Noob, and I'll see you all next time.